Hi everybody, good to see you again. School is over us and we need to take it seriously. We need to get organized. That's why I bring to you this house. It's a pencil house shaped like a pencil, even some pencils coming up from the chimney here. You can open it on the side and it becomes a home for your pencils and all the stationery you need to have a perfect school year. Here I have organized all my pencils in this very handy pencil organizer, those memo pad thingy with color, markers, containers with different things. I got my grays and blacks over here. In this shelf I have all kinds of containers. I have paper clips, pencil sharpener, and different things. Then up here is a tailor-made little drawer to fit on top of the house in the attic. It's an attic drawer, in fact. And here I got stuff like highlighters, erasers, and different things in here. To top it off, there is a secret. Don't tell anyone, because if you take this knob, there's a secret room with my secret diary inside. This is my diary, everybody. I've never showed this to anyone in my life. I'm going to show it to you now. I bought it in Beijing in China, and it's got all my secret notes inside. Can you see that? All my secret notes that nobody knows about. These are my ideas. Yes. Okay, I suppose you like me to show you how to make this fantastic home of the pencils. So let me clear it off and then show you what you'll need. You will need toilet rolls, a bit of cardboard of this type. That's sort of recycled kind of thick solid cardboard, a little bit of glue, and maybe a brush to rub the glue, a ruler to measure things, a pencil and a marker to mark things, a cutting knife, maybe even a big one and a small cutting knife. That's always handy to have for various things, some filler mask to fill little holes and little cracks and stuff, and a spatula to go with it to fill the things, a little bit of tape, elastic band, some strips of cardboard, some bit of extra cardboard for cutting different things, a little box to make the pencil container, some box of some sort you'll find. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. Then you will need a house. Yeah, you will need a house, and that house I have made before in a previous video, so make sure you watch that video after this one so that you can make this house that we're gonna start off with. Okay, are you ready? Well, let's get going. We start by opening up the house. Then we need a ruler to mark how big the opening or the door should be. So I'd say about 1.2 cm should be quite perfect. So we have to mark 1.2 two places, and then we draw the line there, and then up here. And over here. There. And now we need to cut. Start with cutting straight down from this side. And on the other side. There. And then the underside. I have to measure here too. 1.2. Cut. Now, before we open this door, we make sure that we put something in front of where the fold is going to be, like the ruler, something straight, so that we have something to fold against. So you press the ruler and then you press the door out to make sure that the fold is nice and sharp and clean. Yeah, pushing from the inside, pushing out against the ruler. That way I ensure a nice clean fold. You gotta show the cardboard who is the boss. Okay, nice fold there, up and close very nicely. And inside here is some cardboard junk from the windows that I cut out. You see those? Yeah, so those we just get rid of. Now we can continue to put in the floors. We will need these strips of cardboard that I showed you earlier. Let's see now which one fits the width. I have cut one that is, oh yeah, this one is nice. That'll be nice for the floor up here. The first floor is kind of tall so that we can fit in the tall pencils. We can take some pencils to try. So you can see here the pencils are quite tall. It's all the way up here at 23 cm. I make a mark here. That's the height. Same over here. There. Now we need to see how long it needs to be. It needs to be this long. So I make a mark here. And then we cut it. There. Let's see how it fits. Very nice. And also a nice height above the pencils. Now one thing that is really handy is to cut a little strip to support the shelf. So I cut a little strip here. If the strip goes here, then it will support the shelf from underneath. So the shelf is here, and then I put the little strip here. Then it supports it here, so that it rests. The shelf rests on this little strip. So it's supported then from this side, and that side. So I need to make a mark where this little strip should go. And then I draw a line, and then I put glue on and glue it on. There. Next, I put glue on the sides of the shelf and stick it in. Making sure it rests nicely on the little cardboard strip. It does help to take a couple of small pieces of tape just to support the shelf until the glue is dry. There. In the meantime, let's focus on the shelf above here. So we take the cut off piece of cardboard. How high should the shelf be? It's up to you really how big you want this shelf and this shelf, but I think maybe about this high should do the trick. So I make a mark here and cut it. There, and then test it out. Quite nice. Maybe trim it a little bit more. Now this is called fine adjusting. So that's something you always have to do when you work with cardboard. You try, you test, and you adjust. And in it goes. Make sure it's straight. Does it look straight to you? It's a bit hard for me to kind of do this and show you at the same time. Anyhow, yeah, looking pretty straight. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And this shelf is so small, it won't need the support from underneath. So that's why we don't need that strip there. Now, if you hold on to it for a few seconds, it tends to dry as you hold it, or not dry, but the glue will set so that if you slowly remove your fingers, whoa, it stays there. Now, everybody, this needs to dry, so I'm going to take a little break. Next, we need to make the wall that supports the floor across here. So, then you take a piece of cardboard, you measure the height, that's roughly the height or exactly the height that you need there, and then you cut your piece. Now, I have pre-cut a piece here that is pretty perfect. Let's try it on. So I put it in here. Oh, beautiful fit. Look at that. This then supports this floor even more. Next, we need to check where shall we position it? Because after all, this is where the pencil organizer go. And this is the box that we are going to make the pencil organizer from. So we need to stick this box in to make sure that it's space enough for it in there. So in other words, we need to adjust this wall according to the size of this box. So let's see, oops, yeah, I'd say about there. Then this box goes in and out very easily. So we make a mark here, up here, and here. And then the question is, shall we keep it boring wall like this, or shall we shape it a bit more artistically? You see, I have this idea that this wall can be a bit sort of curved. So if we have it here, let's see, what if it sort of goes like this, a curve, and then out again like that? That'll be really beautiful when we put it in. So let's cut that. Maybe round the corners a little bit even. Make it extra nice. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Gorgeous. Now we can put on glue on top here and this side and the bottom, and we stick it in. And then we adjust it according to the mark that we made up here. Push it all the way to the back so that the glue grips all the way around. While this dries, we can make the chimney. So I'm cutting a piece of cardboard, roughly the size that I need. Yeah, that's a good size. So let me show you how. You take your ruler and press. You count these stripes. 1, 2, 2.5 in the middle there. Then you press your ruler down. So when you press your ruler, create a dent like this. And then you go again, 2.5. You press your ruler. Yeah. So now you get this sort of shape. Again, same thing. See, now we have a little square at the end there. And that is the size of your chimney. So then you take your pencil, mark it, cut it there, and now we can glue it. Get some tape out, press there. Let's put on some more tape. This now needs to dry. Luckily, I have another one that is already dry. So let me show you what happens when we take off the tape. Okay, let's try it out. As you can see here, it needs to be cut at an angle so that it matches the angle of the roof. There, let's test that. As you can see, it's not straight, it's a bit off. It needs to be a bit in like that. So we need to take off more up here. Much better, but still needs a little bit. Okay. Oh, perfect, yes. Plenty of glue on this one because the corrugated cardboard absorbs a lot of glue, so you need a lot of glue to really make sure it sticks. Position it nicely. Actually, I think I don't need to put on any tape on this one because it sticks so well already. Now this just needs to dry. Let's get on with the pencil organizer that goes inside here. And that's this box. So let me show you how I make it. Basically, I find a suitable box, a suitable size box, and then I glue all the flaps together. So this is glued here, put glue here, glue it together, put tape, so that it becomes a tightly sealed box. Then I have cut it in half all around until I get 2 of these, but I only need 1. So basically this is what you end up with that you're going to use. When you have this box, we cut it at an angle. You see it's cut at an angle here so that it's got a bigger backing here but a nice display in front. So get your ruler out again and decide roughly the angle, maybe something like this. So that'll be down to here. Make a mark across here. So it's this angle. And let's use the ruler to make sure it's really straight. And this side. We cut. Notice that I angle my knife when I cut this so that I don't cut straight down. I cut at to follow the angle of the side here. There. Now you can see that it's the same as this one. So inside here is these compartments, so that if I take out a few pencils, you can see that there are compartments all along dividing so that you can organize the pencil. So there's compartments this way and this way, or dividers this way and this way. So let's do the ones going this way first. Then we will need these little bits of cardboard. So let's try them out. Now we need to adjust them so they're a little bit too tight. So I snip off a little bit. When you adjust, you take a little bit at a time. So let's try it on. Yeah, a little bit too tight still. So, oh, beautiful. Then you have the angle this way. So if I hold it against here, I can see the angle. I make a mark like that, and then I make the cut. Beautiful. Then I can glue that in. Now, how big you would like the compartments to be, that's entirely up to you. So I'm just doing it so that it's about 2 to 3 pencils wide. Then we try another one. Yeah, too tight. Let's adjust. Good one. I hold it over here. Make the mark again. Basically now we continue to add these dividers all the way up here. Okay, done that. Now we need to do the dividers across. So I take my trusted cardboard piece again and measure how wide do I need to make it. Let me see here now. Shall I do it? Maybe I do it this way so the stripes are across. Okay, so this wide, draw a straight line, cut, and test. Yeah, quite perfect. So I need to mark it again, cut. Yes, on with the glue on 3 sides, 1 side, 2 side, and 3 side. In it goes. And then I carry on like that all across the pencil organizer. Okay, last one there. And now this needs to dry. Okay, I put it over here, and in the meantime, let's have a look at our house again. We are going to make a special shelf for the top floor, and that's going to be fun with this piece of cardboard. So, we now need to fold. I can just make a dent here and a fold here. See, we need to fold the side. So if this goes in the corner up here, how wide is it? It's, let's see here now, and it's this wide. So we make a fold there as well. Okay. Okay, we need to cut away a little bit on the sides first, so that we can try to fit it in and have a look. Yeah, nice, you see? It fits beautifully in there. Let's now just cut these sides to equal length. And for that, we need to use our ruler. Let's do it at 4.3. So there and there. Okay, draw a straight line. Make a cut. And then we need the sides. I have here cut a couple of sides. Let's see if they fit on. Almost. What we can do, we can glue them on and then adjust them later. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and glue. Glue them on like that. I'm gonna use some tape so that it'll sit properly. And then before we set the angle, let's try it out. So we stick it in here. Yeah, that should be the right angle there. And then I make sure I see where that is so that I can tape it down at exactly that point. Yeah, that's the angle. And the other one. Yeah, that should be the angle, and I will need a bit more tape to sort of keep them together. There. Now I need to put something heavy on top. Maybe this one. Yay! Okay, let it stay there and dry for a little while, and then we put on the other one. Now the glue has set. Let's stick on the other one. So a bit of glue on this side as well. There. Stick this on, making sure it's flush with the bottom here. And then let's wait for it to dry. Well, actually, in the meantime, let's make the secret door. Remember the secret door? Okay, so I'm gonna move this one a little bit over here. And secret door, oh, that's very easy. Basically, you take a piece of cardboard and you measure the size of this opening here so that you get a thing that fits right in. So you can put it like this. You draw on the side, on the back, like this. You see this? That's your angle. Then you just cut that out, like this. Try it again. A little bit too big, so let's adjust. Try again. Yeah, I think that's quite good. So now we can make a mark up where this shelf goes. Make a mark here, and then cut again. Test it again. Yeah, I think it's just right. So now let's make the little knob here. Okay, take a piece of cardboard. You cut two little square or rounded, it's up to you, and little bits like this. Make them the same size, like this, and glue them on top of each other, like this. Then take the secret wall, a bit more glue, and stick it on roughly about so. Now this one needs to dry, so we put it over here in the drying department. Anything else we can make? Let me see. It's those strips along the top and the bottom of the secret door. I got some more cardboard here. Okay, so we need the same length and about this wide. This length and about this wide. Ruler! Like this. Goes on here. And then, if you look inside, you can see that there is an extra bit of cardboard on there. That means that the strip on top doesn't have to be as wide as this one because the wall is thicker up there. So the next one we're gonna do, which goes on top here, can be a little bit less wide basically. Okay, now let's glue it on. The wider one goes at the bottom, the less wide one goes on top, and let's stick them down with some tape. Now dry. Nice, yeah. Let's have a look. So we take off the tape Now the time has come to trim the edges so that the thing is nice and lean and will fit into the shelf. Okay, so we start with trimming the edges clean like that, and basically all the sides. Okay, let's test it. Yeah, a perfect fit. Now we want to sort of round it off so it looks nice and also easy to kind of grip it inside like that. So we draw a little rounded shape like this and then cut it. For that I'm using a my smaller knife because it's easier to cut smaller shapes with. There. Now the time has come to put on the elastic bands. You see, for the markers to stick well to this wall here, we need an elastic band across, and so it goes from about here to here. We can start by cutting off a piece. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then put lots and lots of glue at the end of one side. The reason is that this material is very absorbent, so you need quite a lot of glue to kind of make sure that basically it's enough glue. So you stick it on there and stick on a piece of tape until it dries, so you can control it. So straight like that, and then it goes across to about here, and then we let that dry for a little second, and then we do the other one. Remember the secret, the place for the secret diary. Cut off a piece about this long, glue on one side, put on a bit of tape, and then we let it dry for a little while. I'm going to take the opportunity to take the tape off and then double check that it really fits. It fits, but it's a little tight. It's just a tiny bit tight. So this is the time to trim off a little bit. Try one more time. Much better, much better. Okay, then when the glue here has set a little bit, we can do the other side. So looks like it's a bit too long. I'm going to snip it off first and then glue and a piece of tape to hold it down while it dries. Now what you need to do is to stretch it a little bit, but not too much, just like that. Same with this one. Have a piece of tape ready, that's always good. Glue, stretch it a little bit, not too much, and on with the tape. That's just right. And then I'm going to show you a new little trick, and that is to use the filler mass and the spatula to fix up some of the rough edges. You see, when you're working with cardboard, you very easily get edges that are a bit rough, such as this. If you want to smoothen it out and make a nicer looking finish, you add this. So you put that in here, put that in here. Not something you have to do, you know, the house can manage without it, but like I said, you know, it depends how nice you want your finish to look. I'm not going to put filler mass on all the edges. I could have done it here and everywhere. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the edges that I really think needs to be polished up a bit. On this side and on this side. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to add a hook or a lock for the door, so that you know you can lock the door and your pencils are totally safe. For that, you're going to need a stiff piece of cardboard like this, that are solid and not corrugated like this. It's a very simple construction. If I can find a pencil in this mess now. Okay, it's a thing like this. that you're going to glue on, and then you make a round sort of locking mechanism with a hole in the middle like this. Then you cut that out until you have a piece like this. Now when you cut out the thing in the middle, you will also end up with a piece looking like this that fits exactly into here. Now this is the locking mechanism. If you glue that to the side here and then you glue your piece to this side, it locks together. So the only thing is that if you see, if I push here now, you see that this one is sticking out a little bit. Now it needs to be more in like this. That's why we need to put something, a chip inside there. See, here I got a little chip. So I now need to cut and adjust this little chip. So this long, there. See, I need to glue this onto here so that when I stick it on the door, it brings this one out a bit. But as you can see now, I need to angle it a bit in so that it comes in like this. That's why I need to put another little chip at the end here. I have a bit thinner cardboard. I'm cutting a small strip out of this one like this, and I'm gluing it to the end here like that. You see, now when I add it to the door, it changes the angle a bit so that it angles a bit more in like this, you see. So when I lock the door, it will grip around the button that is inside there. So this one is now good. I can stick this on. Have a bit of tape ready and on it goes. Make sure it's positioned right. Yeah, that looks good. You see, this is part of adjusting. Always adjust. That's what you need to do the whole time to fine-tune those little details so that they'll work. So this now needs to dry. Next, we need to add this little button to here. So we need to sand it a bit first to make sure that it'll fit inside that little hole there. Let's give it a try. Still a little bit tight. So I'll sand a bit more, and then we need to mark where to glue the button. See, if we press like this, now the door is closed. I can make a little circle there. So that's where we're gonna put our button. A bit of glue, and on it goes. Then we need to check if it's the right positioning. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, while this dries, we need to make the containers that holds the pencils and the markers. Remember these? Cut them into the sizes that you want, and you also want to have a slanted cut. Okay, yeah, getting closer. Like this. And if you want to cut a smaller one, you can go like this. Like this. Then we stick them on piece of cardboard, draw around them, and cut them out. Like this. Okay, let's stick one on and see. Beautiful. And when this is dry, you can trim the edges and make it really nice and even, like I've done here. So that's how simple it is to make our pencil holders. So now we have our whole construction of our pencil house with pencil organizers, pencil and pen holders, secret door, shelf on top, elastic straps. All that we need now is to decorate it, and that I'm gonna do in my next video, or the next following after that, or I can't quite remember. Subscribe to my channel and I will let you know exactly when the video is coming, where I'm decorating this with fantastic colors. See you then.